Hey guys, today I'm gonna go back in time a little bit, and maybe some of you remember that about 6 or 7 months ago, I uploaded a video showing how I installed this peel and stick tile backsplash that's in behind me. And over the course of the time between then and now, I've received a lot of questions and comments asking how's it holding up. And if you remember at the time, we were really happy with it because it's super inexpensive, it's very easy to install, and it looks great. And so today, that's what this video is gonna be about. Maybe some of you did not see that video, and maybe you've thought about installing this in your house or your apartment as a temporary solution. I'm here to tell you that this might change your mind because I don't really have a whole lot good to say about it. Even though the manufacturer says that it holds up well to heat, I can tell you that it does not. In the areas where there is no heat, it looks great. It looks exactly the way that I installed it. In the areas where there's heat, like on top of the cooktop and underneath the cabinets where there's the under cabinet lighting, it is not pulling away from the wall, but it is separating from itself and curling up, which is basically as bad as separating from the wall because it looks awful. So we're gonna be pulling all this off and we're gonna be retiling it. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like currently with it curled up, pulling it off of the wall. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna prep it for the real tile that's gonna go in on top after I get all of this pulled down. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's go. All right, so as you can see here, this is what I'm talking about. It is just separating from itself. This right here is still a piece of the tile. It is still stuck to the wall, but this silver adhesive has pulled off of it, and it's doing it up here, down here, pretty much this whole line down. And then if you look up above, I don't know if you can see these bends up here, it's doing it there, and then some places over here as well. Pretty much all on top of this cooktop here, it is doing it, and you can see here where it's rippling. So I'm not happy with this at all, and it's all just gonna have to come down. So this is an area that I've just pulled it off of, and as you can see over here, it just pretty much pulled off some paint and left some of it the way that it was originally. And then over here, it's pulled off just a little bit of that top layer of the drywall, but thankfully this is not super damaged. This is actually very easy to prep for anything that you would be putting in on top of it. But if you're renting, you know, a lot of people thought that maybe this is a good temporary thing to do. You can do it, but you're gonna have to, as you know, you're gonna have to fix all this up before you leave, or you're gonna forfeit your deposit and probably have to pay for the repairs that have to be done. So just keep that in mind. So I'm gonna be using a tinted primer, a roller for the larger areas, and a brush for the edges and touch up, and of course a paint tray. Now I started off by sanding down everything just to bring down any of the high points, just to make everything a little bit more level and so that there was nothing that was still loose. Now in my particular case, since I'm going to be going over everything with a brand new tile, some people would recommend going over everything with a skim coat. I personally don't believe for this particular instance that would be necessary, just because the drywall is really not damaged. Now I'm going to be putting down this primer, and I just feel like it's going to provide a little bit better surface for that new tile to go over, especially in those areas where the paper for the drywall is exposed. It's going to help to harden that up and fill up any pores that might be there. Now if you're planning on going over all of the areas with paint, then you would want to do a skim coat just to bring everything to the same level. If you did not do a skim coat and you just went over the wall the way that you see mine is right now, you would see all of those imperfections and you would see varying levels in your paint, and it really would not look good at all. So this was a real letdown. I hope that this was helpful for some of you out there. Maybe if you were considering doing this, it's either turned you away from it altogether or just gave you a better idea of what you might be getting yourself into and the repairs maybe that you have ahead, especially if you're renting and you're thinking of this as a temporary solution. Now, maybe I just got a bad batch. Maybe there's better companies out there. I can only speak to the experience I had. I felt like you guys should know what my experience was and maybe what you would expect if you went ahead and did this as well. These would probably work great in a laundry room or something like that where it doesn't get hot. I will have a link down in the description down below. Not necessarily that I'm recommending that you buy them, but if you are doing something like that, they might work well there for you. Or you can click on the link, check them out, and that way you know maybe which ones to avoid. It really is up to you. Either way, I just wanted to give you my experience. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, please let me know by giving the video a thumbs up. And let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts and maybe any experiences that you had down in the comments down below. And if you like videos like I did here today, then consider hitting that red subscribe button. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. See ya.